Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing something that has been requested a lot on this channel. And many of you have been asking, how much does it cost to build a garden house? So today we're going to be looking at a very simple small garden house, which may be something that a lot of you DIYers may be able to take on. So I'm just going to go through the costs of the materials on this. So this is presuming that you're going to be doing the work yourself. Obviously, if you're going to be getting someone to do parts of the work maybe that you can't do, such as electrics and plastering, you'll have to obviously add those labor costs in as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So first thing we're going to start is with the back-breaking digging. So foundations, the only materials really, or any cost that you'll have on this should be your skips or a grab truck. So in this case we use the grab truck, and it cost about £420 for a load. You can use a skip obviously if you want, but sometimes the grab can be a little bit easier as far as getting, you know, the wheelbarrows and stuff into a skip. You're going to need someone else to help you to sort of lift a skip, or you can create some sort of ramps. If you've got some timber to make some safe ramps, then you can get that stuff in. So that's the first cost you'll probably have to pay to build this house. So in this case we had a lot of concrete patio as well, and soil, and we typically dig down to about 450 to 500 mil, and usually we'll hit clay soil, and you tend to be at a good place to stop then. So digging took us about a day and a half, because we had a lot of demolition to do around the house as well. And you saw we had a foam box to take out there as well. So we are now doing the concreting. So there's different options on the concrete. You can mix this by hand as you see us doing. Obviously you need a mixer, so you may need to incorporate hiring a mixer in if you haven't got one. So this cost us about £200, and that includes us buying jumbo bags of ballast, which is what you will need, and cement as well. So total cost of about £200. You can use a company to provide you ready mix concrete. Typically you'll pay a minimum cost for that, and typically that's about 2 cubic meters that you will have to pay for, so just check on the prices. So now we're moving on to our damp proof course brickwork. So that's the brickwork below the damp proof course. Used a total of 215 bricks, and that cost us about £150. There's one jumbo bag of sand, as well as a bag of cement. So the sand, we didn't use all of it obviously for this small area, but the rest of it we used when we're doing the block work. So it should take you about a day to do. If you're inexperienced, if you're a brickie, then it will take you a matter of no time at all. We did have terrible weather here. It was raining a lot, but we were able to clean up the bricks with some acid later on, which is fairly easy with engineering bricks. They're a little bit more forgiving if you need to clean them up. So you can see here now we're straight onto some block work here, and again you will need your cement mixer for a big part of this, so you may consider hiring one in. They're not typically that expensive. You can hire one for a week, probably going to cost you about £50. So our damp proof course was about £7. That's the black strip that you see on top of the red bricks. Our concrete blocks, 230 blocks at £575. We did get another bag of sand in, and also cement at £42. So this is obviously quite a big part of the build, so you know, take your time and no rush. Lay your blocks. We are rendering over this, so you can lay in brick obviously as well. If you're not sure if you can get a really good finish, it might be better to do it in block, because then you can obviously render it and sort of cover any imperfections. So next we are on to concrete lintels. We've got 3 lintels here, 2 doors and 1 window, that come up to £60. Our wall plates, which is the timber that sits above the walls, come in about £64. And then we have also these wall straps. So the wall straps are there to tie the roof down to the walls and prevent the roof from lifting under heavy winds. So next is time for rafters. We start putting our rafters in. I believe we used 6x2 rafters for this. The rafters came in at £416. Add in your screws and nails, etc. at about £30. We've also got to put fairings on top of the rafters, which is what gives us the slope for water to slope. Fairings came in at £150. We've also got the OSB on top, which is the sort of plyboard looking sort of material, at £210. Screws at £20. Soffits and fascia boards at £200. And we also had a rubber roof, which cost £700 for the roof and all the trims and edges and stuff. So next we are oversighting, hardcore, £130, a bag of sand binding, and also we hired a compactor in, which you might have to do as well, for £40. On top of that, we got our damp-proof membrane at £40 and our insulation at £364. So back to the mixer again. Now we're mixing our concrete by hand again. So all the materials for this, which is basically ballast and cement, cost us £265. The main reason why we're doing this is the access to the garden was limited, so we couldn't get wheelbarrows of concrete from the front to the back, so we just ended up doing it by hand. So we basically carried buckets of aggregates, dumped it in the mixer and dumped our mix in there. So now we're on to framing. We did split this room into 2 small rooms, so you can see the partitioning, and all the framing that we used on the walls was £225 plus our screws and plugs at £25. So now you've got your cabling and electrics. Typically you'll be using 1.5mm for your lights and 2.5 for your sockets. These came in at £35 and £48 respectively. So next is our vapor barrier and insulation. We've put in rigid board insulation into the walls at £455, and our vapor barrier, which is the green plastic, £56. Straight onto plasterboard at £182 for all of our plasterboard. That covers the ceiling and all the walls. So next what we will be doing is installing the door. So we have a front PVC door here, and we also have a steel door to the side for the smaller rear section, and we also have a UPVC door window as well. So the PVC door is at £469, the window was £400, and our steel door was £366. So now we're just taping up for plaster because we will be skimming inside this house. This is often a point where people might want to bring someone in. Another option of joint filling, mixed views on that, but I think skimming is the best thing to go for in this situation. And pretty much the materials are not that much expensive, it's just lots of multi-finish, a couple of bags, and just be plastering away. So consider whether you want to pay someone to do this for you. A team of plasterers, 2 guys who get this done in a day, and the plaster itself will only cost you about £50. Also, you need to add in your angle beads as well, so consider just paying a little bit more for that. So we give this 2 coats of multi-finish, which is very typical, and once this is dry, the place will be ready for painting. We did actually get this done in one day. So next we are onto the floor. So we put a vapor barrier down on the floor as well, and we're just installing laminate floor, which was supplied to us by the customer. So the cost on that depends on what you want to spend for your floor. So we've left this out on this case. So our skirting boards which we provided came in at £88. And again, you can choose what type of skirting you want to use. So now we are on the outside of the building, letting the inside dry. We are preparing to do the K-ren. So we've got our gutterings at £65, which includes all the bits, the downpipes and brackets and so on. We're putting in all the corner beading and angle beading for the plaster or the render, and that costs £90 for all of that. Once that's in, we're ready to start our plastering. We're using a K-ren here. The meshing for that is £55 a roll, which should do you a house like this. And then the actual render came in at £560. So next is a paint. So we paint the inside of the building, and that's all our skirtings, walls and ceilings was £120 for materials. And also our final skip was £360, just to clear up all the last of our rubbish and so on. So the last things to do now is our second fix electrics. We've got the internal sockets at £35, also the spotlights were £80, and the consumer unit and armored cable was £285. Obviously you need to add in the cost for electrician to install that for you. So that now brings our total cost of materials to £8,522. I would add 10% onto that as well, just a contingency. There'll definitely be more things to add onto that. And that will then give you your whopping grand total of
£9,374 all in.
So if you guys are willing to put in the work, you can definitely build something for under £10,000. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think. Please comment, like, and subscribe.